My name is Thomas Cottrell and this is my video presentation for the app side of the Insole project in the module User-Centered Design. My idea is based around improving the user's running technique using sensors inside a smart insole. These are used via Bluetooth to give pressure and impact feedback to the app, which informs the user on high or low pressure points and rotation of the feet, as well as communicating ways to improve on these factors such as counteracting incline terrain and correct rolling of the feet. The app has a couple more functions such as a way to earn and spend points and recording and sharing of runs or activities. However, that will be covered later on when I explain in detail about the app. I started the project by researching my fictional user via empathy mapping. This helped me gain an idea about the type of person they are in their day-to-day life with things that they say such as "how can I help you" and "how was your run", things that they feel such as motivated and excited, things that they hear like "any tips for exercise" or "where did you go today", and things that they see such as data and statistics, a long path and social media, as well as challenges and opportunities like night runs and work stress paired with freedom and getting fit. The user persona board goes into detail about the personality of the user. His name is James Doe and he is a single 21-year-old man working as a health and fitness coach in London. His main goals are to fix his running technique after experiencing a couple of foot problems when running and to constantly be improving his pace. The user journey mapping helps me to understand how the user finds the app and moves through it in order to reach their desired outcome. The 5 main steps are consider, explore, compare, purchase, and loyalty. These are split into 3 segments of direct and indirect interaction and their emotion during the steps. This is paired with what they say during the steps to help identify the most important parts of functionality. I also created 2 user storyboards, one which told me how the user made their way through the app using it in their day-to-day life, and one which helped me to find out their daily routine. This allowed me to make some changes to how the app is thought out as it helped me to see the project as a user and not a designer. Before working on the app side of the project, I did some research into existing apps surrounding the same fitness area. A couple examples I took inspiration from when designing my app were Strava and Zesto, as they accurately represented the style and theming of the brand. As far as my research went, I could not find any apps with a similar idea. A couple of the apps I found allow you to record your running via video to see improvements, but no app uses smart insoles like mine. Starting the app design process was to sketch wireframing. This covered the main design of every single page, sometimes including colours and icons. However, the main idea is to lay out all buttons, text placement and graphical features before implementing them into the digital format of Adobe XD. The wireframing in XD is used similarly to sketch wireframing. However, its main function is to show how the user moves through the app using Adobe XD's prototyping feature. At this point I had done some simple XD development and I received some feedback on the app design through a presentation which was to change some potential colours and to change some small graphical elements like blurring the background of the initial login screens. The branding was focused around a sporty/healthy theme which impacted the colours and fonts that I used. For the final version of the logo, an altered version of the font Eras Bold ITC was used with an underline. This underline has a gap which creates an upwards arrow in the negative space which indicates positive progress. Some important design choices for the final app were as follows. Drop shadows on most buttons and graphical elements. These added a sense of depth into the app, helping to reduce the flat look of some colours against the white background. A swooping graphic on the homepage. Surrounding the information about the shop is a graphical element which swoops down from the left, indicating a natural flow or movement similar to how the user will roll their feet after using the app. Colours and gradients. The range of colours used for the app and branding are both vibrant and calming, providing a sense of safety and tranquility, whilst also giving themes of sport and fast-paced motion. The gradients are relatively pale, as vibrant and contrasting gradients usually don't work well on smaller screens. The first time the user opens the app, they are presented with an introduction with a brief description of what it is and how it works. The Get Started button takes you to a login screen where the user can enter their login details if they already have an account, or go to the sign up page to create an account. After these screens, the user will be taken to a different screen to enter their basic details, which when completed a welcome splash screen will display, and when everything is loaded a small tutorial is shown to briefly show the user how to use the app. The home screen contains 3 separate scrolling information boxes and buttons which are recent activity, recent recording and the user's progress. These all link to their relevant screens when pressed. The bar at the bottom of all main screens shows which screen is currently active and also will link to the desired screen when pressed. At the bottom of the home screen is a link to the shop as well as a graphic displaying the amount of sense points the user has. The account button in the top left of most main screens takes the user to their profile page displaying their followers and following count as well as the amount of points they have. From here they can tap on the followers page to see a list of their recent followers and all followers, go to a different screen to add and search for more friends, or go back to the profile page. The same is with the following page, displaying all accounts they are following with the ability to search and unfollow them. Also from the profile page, the user can change their details, look at their current progress and log out. Then simply press the back button to go back to the page they were previously on. There is also a button at the top right of each main page for settings. The account settings include a way to change details such as name, username, email address and the account password. They can check which devices they are paired to, taking them to their phone's relevant Bluetooth settings page. And much like the profile page, check, update or even reset their body data. The preferences settings covers things such as units for runs, map data and notifications. Moving on to the Sense page, which is the main function of the app, telling the user about the progress they are making, any issues they currently have and improvements to be made, as well as showing an overview and pressure map of their last run. At the bottom of the page are two buttons. The first shows a pop-up to inform the user on how to read the simple data if they are unsure, and the second being the calibration of the Insole with the app. The record page is used to record the user's runs, which display their location and mapping of the route, as well as an easy to read compass and confirmation of calibration in the top right. After the user records their run, they can publish it to their feed or look at other users' feeds that have been shared with them. These display the distance, time, average time per distance, and points earned. If the corresponding user is active on the app or recording a run, their profile image will be surrounded by a green outline. And finally the shop, where the user can spend the points that are earned while recording. The app would potentially be partnered with Generate, which is a browser extension allowing users to control the shown advertisements to earn points which can be spent on many different items such as gift cards and discounts, along with different offers from different companies. With this app, the user can also purchase fitness gear such as clothing or gadgets. When the user taps on a product, they are taken to the relevant page displaying more information and they can buy or add to their wish list, which will be displayed above the contents of the shop. They can then go back to the shop or another page in the app. The app has been tested on 3 people. The first was someone who runs a lot and sometimes has problems with their feet or running technique. The second was someone who runs occasionally and wants to correct their technique before it's too late. And the third is someone who does not run at all, however wants to start and needs to be sure their technique is correct. They were all given a brief introduction of what the app is and how it works. This is to simulate the real user experience as a real user would download the app after they've researched and received the smart Insole. After sharing a link to access the app on their devices, they each went through the app, attempting to use every screen possible and didn't encounter any problems other than minor visual issues such as missing fonts on their devices and simple icon alignment. To make the app visuals, I used many different tools in Adobe XD. All icons and graphical elements were digitally made by me using Adobe Illustrator. I inputted my brand colors and relevant colors into the document assets for later use, as well as any gradients I came to use. Alongside these, all buttons, background images, my logo, and the data inputting sections were all saved as components and assets to easily use again in other screens. One challenge was getting the gradients right for use on mobile, as the screen colors are much different depending on the screen size and device. One successful feature was creating the scroll groups for the tutorial page and the home page, as they provide a much more immersive experience for the user. That was my project for the app side of the user-centered design module. Thank you for watching.